Hey guys, Joe here and welcome back to the channel. Optimus Prime's obviously had various reincarnations throughout all the decades he's been around for the past 35 years. Obviously there's versions of him being G1 original, G1 Mailway. He's had his Masterpiece reincarnations as well as Takara book style and a more recent G1 reissue as well. Today I thought I'd take a look at the 2019 Walmart G1 reissue of Optimus Prime and take a look at some of the reasons why I decided to pick him up. So stay tuned and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so first off, let's take a look at the packaging here. As you can see, one obvious, distinct, glaring observation would be that Optimus Prime here is without his trailer. So reason number one why I picked him up, this is actually the first Optimus Prime G1 version that's been issued without trailer attachment. So I thought that was a bit of made him stand out among all the different Optimuses throughout the years. They've tried to be fairly consistent with the artwork and the transformation process on the top. That is very G1. If you're looking at the back, they've obviously kept the standard and same generic G1 artwork that we're accustomed to in the back with this epic space battle scene. They have included Optimus's stats here as well as a brief bio description. So you can pause it there if you like and take a look at that yourself. One distinct note here is that this is made in Vietnam, whereas all the other ones were made in Japan. This still does come out of Quebec, Canada, though. This is normal for the Canadian issues of Transformer figures. They've foregone with the robot points that would have been on the back of Optimus Prime. Instead, they've gone for the authentic Transformers cutout. What you can do with that, I have no idea. I don't think they're ever going to make any use of that. The tech specs are able to be cut out, and they do tell you to do that there, though obviously we don't condone that unless you don't care about the packaging. Again, if you're familiar with G1 box artwork, everything is pretty much identical, even with the gray artwork around. The only distinction being from the front, due to limit of space. I believe the sunburst was bigger for Optimus, though I no longer have my original G1 packaging. I would like to compare the artwork though with this to G1 artwork, and this is from Legacy, the Art of Transformers packaging. I decided to pull this one out just because it's a nice large picture of Optimus and it'd be easy to compare with if I can get it in there. You'll see there are slight differences. For me, the main one being the positioning of Optimus Prime, where this is more backwards, or leaning back, and this is more prone to lean forward. The legs are modeled differently, whereas this one has larger leg thighs shown. This one has less available. There's distinctions with the smokestack. Original one with the air vents on them. There's 5 vertical rows on this one, whereas the artwork here only shows 3 vertical rows going up and down. So little things like that. Obviously they've had to do some sort of change, I guess, probably just like I mentioned due to the size of the packaging, but aside from that, it is fairly close to the original. You can see here, thumb goes over the fingers, whereas on the original, the thumb comes out to the front, or to the sides of the originals. And the original license plate there is whited out, whereas this is sort of grayed green and does show some semblance of faint numbering or whatnot too. So slight variations, but for the most part, I think they did a pretty good job in keeping things pretty identical and pretty comparable to the original. So I think fans, for the most part, will be happy with that. So I say, without further ado, let's crack this guy open and we can see what he's like on the inside. Alright, so let's crack open this packaging. As you can see, obviously it's taped on the back on both sides. One thing I noticed, I don't know if I can show it clearly here, but this side appears to have one tape on there, whereas the other side, there, that's a good shot, even though it is straight from quote-unquote the factory, I guess. It appears to be double taped. That's the initial one, and then there's this extra one on top here. And I've noticed that with a lot of these figures that have come from, or these G1 reissues that have come from Walmart. I'm not sure why they're doing that. Obviously, it's probably some sort of QC that they're doing on the figures, but the ones that there's only a couple when I picked this one up, obviously, but they had the same taping on there as well. So obviously they've just come out. They're not returns. I don't know why they're doing that, but you can see he's nicely held in there by a plastic clamshell. Everything is taped in nicely. You can see the instructions on the back. His gun's back there. And I'm going to cut open the double-sided part, and we'll take it from there. This is one of the few rare times, oh, that opened pretty easy, that I've cut open a brand new figure. So he slides out nicely. Nothing else in there. So we'll put that back there. And this I like. I'm happy about this. Nice instruction sheet. There's tape that they put on this. So I like the baggy stickers that I will never put on, obviously, because there's no reason to. But very reminiscent. They even gone with the yellow backing. You know, pretty G1-esque. So here is, the paper is, I don't know. It's not the shiny glossy like the original G1 stuff. I wasn't expecting that, but so that's strange. There's a fold in this one. That must have been from the factory. For those of you familiar with Optimus, it's a pretty straightforward transformation. I think even if you don't know the figure, you could probably figure it out. Head, arms, put the gun on. At least they have a couple of nice color pictures. That's actually pretty cool. Obviously, it shows you where the stickers go, and they're numbered. So cool. Happy to see that added. Let's take a look at this quickly here before we take them out. I'll have to do a cutaway to get all these stupid plastic ties on, rubber band ties. You'll see that he actually does come with two guns. I'll show them more clearly later. But everything's nicely secured. And there is actually quite a bit of weight to him, so I'm happy to see that as well. Okay, I will pause for edit, and I will cut off these twist ties, and we'll be right back. Okay, finally got him out of the packaging. There's actually quite a number of little elastics to cut there, but he is out, and I have to say I'm immediately impressed with him. The accessories that you saw in there were obviously Prime's. I'm not sure how good I can show it to you here. It's two fists. Not terribly exciting. And he has two guns, two different versions of it. There is, as you can see on the top, a fat gun, and on the bottom, a skinny one. The fat one was the original G1, and then they later did a variant of it near the end where they've made it a skinny version. Just to show a comparison of that, this is the reissue, and then this one on top is my original childhood Optimus G1 gun. I have to admit it, they did a very good job in replicating it. Almost everything is identical. Except for my original G1's got a little circle there. And then on this reissue, there is no circle there. It even has the little L spot there. Yeah, I don't know. They're so close that I gotta make sure I keep an eye on which one's which. But for the most part, yeah. They even feel like they've got the same weight, so that is that. We'll get those out of the way and take a look at this guy. Immediately off, you can see that he rolls very nicely, as he should, because with this guy here, they have given him nice rubber wheels. And extremely happy with that. There's even writing on that wheel. What does it say? Formula Desert Dog. Cool. I wonder if the original has that. I'll have to check that out. Here's some comparison, here's a back shot, front shot. Nice job on the chrome. I'm not seeing any sort of factory defect. So, and the weight is, it does have some excellent weight to it. While it's in truck mode, I'm going to do a little comparison. This is my original, very first Optimus that I ever had. Dusty because it's been on my shelf. Spoke stacks cracked because I was a kid. What the hell are you going to do, right? Right from the front, aside from the paint being a little bit brighter, I'd say it's a really excellent comparison. And I was expecting such as well. I didn't think that they would do, sort of a crappy job and change things up so much that it would make people unhappy. Let's see, my G1 original, does it have any writing on the wheels? It does. It does have that Desert Dog on the top and formula there, though it's a little bit faded. I wonder if it's any better on these ones. Oh, it's there, it's just really faded. So I'd say overall, it's a very, very nicely done reissue. Geez, my guy's super dusty. I've got to take care of that. You can see my smokestacks obviously broke off. I've meant to replace them over the years and just never got around to doing it. Curious. Mine seems to have 1, 2, 3 vertical air holes, and this one does have the same as well, 3, so that's nice to see. I wonder if they've kept the dots on the sides the same. 5 and 1, and then a little rectangle shape, and then 4, 5 across, and a little door. So even with that, they've seemed to have kept everything pretty much identical. So excellent, great to see. Let's back the guy's ass up a little bit there, and all right, well, what the hell? Let's transform him, and hopefully nothing snaps. You can see some ratcheting there. So he does have ratchets. And when I say ratchets, I mean little cutouts for it. Next step is extremely tight feet. It's good to see. Holy crap. The feet are metal. Might have to pan up here a little bit here. Next transformation is do his arms. So you're just going to turn them out sideways. And this does come out very nicely, super smooth. That's awesome. That's I don't know if you can really notice, but it's got a bit of a spring action to it. So that's nice, super tight. It's got the two driver seats, and obviously flip Prime's head up. Oops. There we go. And see how nicely his fists go in. Is there a certain way to do it? This one goes there. And obviously you can double up. I can tell you right now, one complaint that I have is looking down on the top of his fists. He's got massive holes there. Whereas my original obviously the fist designs are different. My original is more hidden and less pronounced, and does not you see how this sticks up like he's holding a cup of coffee? Mine are flat. And yeah, so aside from that little complaint, I'm pretty happy with it. He holds his gun nicely. And there we have G1 Walmart Reissue Optimus Prime 2019. Really nice figure. My only complaint is, well, I should say I'd probably have maybe two and a half complaints. One being maybe they could have cut down the fist there. The holding parts for the barrel of the gun. And aside from that, my only other complaint is here in Canada, the price point for these figures is $69.99 Canadian, which is, for me, I'd probably say I would have preferred maybe like a $59 price point max. $49 would have been even better. If you can get this guy on sale at any point, I think that'd be really great, though I don't think he's going to go on sale for a long time. And I haven't seen anything on sale at our Walmarts here in Canada for these G1 reissue figures, so I don't think it's going to happen while these figures are still around. There's just notice that now, there's stamping on the back there, I guess made in 2018. Hasbro, Tomy, Vietnam. And nothing on the other side, just some numbers there. So yeah, the fists would have been nice if they were shaved down just the hair, and the price point dropped would have been a bit nicer as well. And I guess that's pretty much it. I don't consider him not coming with a trailer a real complaint. I sort of like the oddity that it's just him by himself. And I can pretty much, I'd probably even bet on it that they're going to come out with a trailer for this guy. It only seems to make sense. Obviously, it's another means for them to bring in money for him. And I'll admit it, I'll probably buy the trailer when it comes out too, if they're going to do as good a job as they did with this figure. I'm sure the G1 reissue trailer will be just as nice and enjoyable as the authentic G1 figure. I'm going to pause it right now. I'm going to transform him back into robot mode, and then I'm going to see how he looks with my G1 trailer, my original G1 trailer, and that'll be the final comparison. Okay, back into obviously truck mode, and I've pulled, this is my original childhood G1 Optimus trailer. You can tell by quick little facts. You see the 4 holes on there. On the inside there's actually a metal plating there. So this is one of the early G1 creations of the trailer, whereas later versions of it, even my Optimus mail away, the trailers don't have this feature in there. So this is my first time putting it on. Just clips onto the holes there, like so. I'm trying to get that on camera. I don't know if I can. And it seems to hold nicely and roll nicely as well. And it matches pretty good. Cool. I'm extremely happy with that. And closing, I think I'd like to say that I highly recommend you guys picking this one up. I know the price point can be a little bit steep. If you're a fan of G1 or Optimus Prime in general, I think this is a pleasant surprise. It's a really pleasing reissue. We haven't had one for a little bit. I don't remember when the last one was that I picked up that was a reissue for Optimus, but I have to say it's extremely pleased with this guy. As always, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this little video of the Walmart G1 reissue Optimus Prime. As always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I appreciate all the comments everyone's been leaving and all the help that people have been giving me in my push to get the sub count up. We'll see you guys again real soon.